lastly, we weren't going to have any more speeches, but Joseph Roberts is the publisher of Common Ground magazine.
Thanks for the dance. It's a dance for life against death. We're up against big GMO. They're not only just trying to deceive us and keep us slaves, they're also trying to deceive all the members of Parliament in Canada. They've just gone and lobbied 50 MPs to not discuss this issue. Just south of the border here we have referendum 522, which gets voted on November 5. Inside of the current issue of Common Ground, which is a poster, you can tear it out and post it up somewhere, but call your friends in Washington State to vote yes for 522, to have it labeled. There's copies of the magazine here if you want to grab some after. Now, I ran across something. This is super important. I've been fighting GMOs for 13 years, and this is the best I've ever found on it. It's called GMO Myths and the Truth, an evidence-based examination of the claims made for the safety and efficacy of genetically modified crops. It's impeccable. Every little bit of bullshit they've put on us, this blows it away. This demystifies their crap. Here's a word from Philip Angel, Monsanto's Director of Corporate Communications. I quote him: "Monsanto should not have to vouchsafe the safety of biotech food. Our interest is in selling as much of it as possible. Assuring its safety is the FDA's job." If you got a cell phone out there, or you don't, write down earthopensource.org. It's 120 pages. It's the best I've seen in 13 years on the subject. This is the real scorecard for GMOs. earthopensource.org. I'm just going to read you a paragraph. GM food was first commercialized in the US in the early 1990s. The US food regulator, the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, allowed the first GMO food onto world markets in spite of its own scientists' warnings. The FDA overruled its own scientists in line with a US government decision to foster the growth of the GM industry. The FDA formed a policy for GM foods and did not require any safety testing or labeling. Contrary to popular belief, brought up by the trance of the mass media, the FDA does not have a mandatory GMO food safety assessment and has never approved a GM food as safe. The FDA has never said these things are safe. They leave it up to the people that are making the profit off it to do the testing themselves. And that information from their tests is not peer reviewed, and you can't get it. So basically, please read this. earthopensource.ca. This is a cultural war. They don't want us to wake up. They want us to be apathetic. And when apathy isn't enough to keep us in our place, they start throwing millions and millions of dollars of deceitful advertising, as they did in California against referendum C-37, and as they're doing right now to our friends south of the border. They're spending way more money than the people in Washington State have ever seen on a referendum of this sort before. They're getting, the grassroots is getting outspent 5 or 10 to 1 by Monsanto, Dow, and DuPont. Information is power. They don't want us to have the information. They don't want us to be able to read the information on the labels. They want the information so they can have the power, and as these performers just showed it, ram their damn GMOs down our throat. So also, between now and November 5th, think about what you can do to help the people in Washington State. Because the way Washington goes, that's the way Harper's going to go. I just think each one of us knows 10 people. Get behind referendum 522 in Washington State. It is a war. They're bombing us with deceptive advertising, but we are the grassroots. We are the people. We want to know what's in our food.
Yeah.
It's not only a question of food, it's a question of freedom. It's not only a question of diet, it's also a question of democracy and justice. Thank you so much.